Find us across all your favorite podcast platforms. You could find us on YouTube. Please remember to subscribe. And you could find us at realmeneatplants.com. My guests today, guests plural, are my two good friends, Shayda Soleymani and Dr. Gustavo Tolosa. And they are the co-authors of Live Your Healthiest Life. And I'm actually their third co-author. Shayda and Gustavo, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you, Glenn.
So this book is truly a one-of-a-kind book, and I see that when people review it on Amazon, that's what they often say, that they've never read a book quite like this, and it's different, and they get involved in the story. So let's talk about the story. How did you guys meet? And don't tell everything, because we want people to get the book.
Well, I met Gustavo when he was doing a little concert piano with Lily Deal, but I had heard about Gustavo through Chef AJ. And through that, because I knew he was doing some webinars, and then I don't remember, I remember meeting him, and then I don't remember how we got talking, but we got talking, and then we started working together, and one thing just led to another. Perhaps Gustavo knows more in detail how we met, because the way I see it, I've known him all my life, and that's just how it feels. Like to me, it feels like he's the brother I've never had, and that I've truly just known him all my life.
Gustavo?
Well, just this morning, I was talking to two people, and I was telling them that Shayda is my sister. You know, she's I said she's the sister that I wish I had, and so and that's why we wrote a book together, and I feel exactly the same. It's just a little bit strange that I feel like I've known Shayda all my life, and other than remembering that I met Shayda at this concert that I did with Lily Deal. By the way, Lily Deal is the wife of Dr. Hans Deal, who unfortunately passed away recently, but she's a wonderful concert pianist. And we were doing a concert together, and Shayda came, and I met her.
How many years ago was this?
Well, I do keep programs of all the concerts that I give, and I would have to look.
Would you estimate 10 years?
No. 2016 or 2017.
Okay, so 8 years ago,
no,
maybe?
maybe less, maybe 2015. Yeah.
All right, well, that's getting close to 10
Yeah,
years.
that's getting close. Yeah. But
might as well be 10.
What's that?
I said it might as well be 10 or 20.
Yeah. I don't remember though, because we clicked immediately, and so I don't remember. But you know, Shayda and I did many webinars together. I traveled to her home where we filmed entire cooking sessions, and she had guests in person, and so we've been doing a lot of cooking, you know, teaching. But I don't recall exactly.
You each have weight loss stories, which is part of the book. Shayda lost over 100 pounds, I think close to 120 pounds. And Gustavo, you lost about 70 or 75 pounds, something like that.
Right. It's, you know, it just sometimes it's hard to remember exactly, because parts of your life when you were, you know, at least for me, when I was so heavy, and actually I was in the obese category, I kind of erased all those memories. But yes, for sure 70 pounds, and it may have gone a little bit above it, and then come back, but about, yeah, that's what it was.
And when you met, where were you on your weight loss journeys?
I think we had both, I at least had started it and I believe Gustavo had also started it, or you
So
were
you were
about
in
to
the
start.
you were in the middle of your weight loss journeys when you met?
I was, because I met AJ in 2000. I started my journey in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So I had already started that process.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I believe that I had, or by the time I met Shayda, I had already lost all those 70 pounds.
Oh, you had already lost the weight.
Yeah, because I had started in August of 2013, and I lost fast. I just couldn't believe the scale. I thought, I mean, for one time I went and I bought a new one because I thought it was broken, because I couldn't believe how fast I was eating so much food and delicious food, and I was losing something that had never ever happened before. So it came off pretty fast, and I know that men in general lose weight faster than women.
which is not fair.
You both lost weight by going on essentially the same kind of diet, a whole plant food, starch-based diet. Was there anything that was, and you write about your weight loss strategies in the book, but do you remember anything that you discovered that you say, oh, this is the perfect kind of meal for me to have for weight loss. This really works easily, and something that you really gravitated to in the diet? I'm seeing
I,
yes, Shayda?
I don't know if that was the case, but the way I started was because I overheard Dr. Furman doing a podcast, and I listened, and to me he made sense what he was saying. But what intrigued me was the fact that I could eat rice, I could eat potatoes, I could eat mangoes, I could have bananas, I could have all this delicious food that in the past they told me, oh my God, you can't have any carbs. And now you're telling me I can have carbs, and that was exciting to me. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to try it for 30 days. I have nothing to lose. Let's try it for 30 days. And after 30 days, when I lost 18 pounds, which I got on that scale 3 times because I thought the scale was broken as well. I couldn't believe that without any effort, 18 pounds came off. I'm like, I'm sticking to this. Like, for me, it has been just fantastic. I mean, you're not weighing, you're not measuring, you're eating carbs. Okay, granted, I'm eating complex carbs and not refined carbs,
Right.
but I just think it's just one of the best diets. I don't even look at it as a diet anymore. To me, it's just a lifestyle. And I think you need to wrap your head around that it needs to become a lifestyle. It is not a diet. It no longer, it's not that.
Right. And Gustavo, for you?
Well, I did find in my case, and we must stress how important it is that we're all different. So what works for one person doesn't necessarily works for everybody. But for me, I noticed that potatoes, regular potatoes and sweet potatoes were the foods that accelerated the weight loss. I always lost 4 to 5 pounds a week at the beginning. But when I didn't have as many potatoes and sweet potatoes one week, and let's say I had rice and beans, I don't know, or some other thing, I would lose, but maybe I would lose 3 pounds or 2 or 3 as opposed to 4 or 5. So for me, it definitely was, and it still is, the potato. And the sweet potato even more.
Yeah. The magician Penn Jillette lost something like 100 pounds eating nothing but potatoes. He just went on a potato-only diet. I'm not recommending that to you, listeners, but it can be done. Others, and then there's that guy Spud
Andrew Spudfoot.
Andrew Taylor. Yeah, Andrew Taylor.
Andrew Taylor.
A friend of mine, and I introduced.
Oh, you know Spud Taylor?
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, we met in person in Sacramento, actually.
Did you share potatoes together?
Yes.
Okay.
At Linda Middlesworth's house. and I interviewed him, and it's in my YouTube channel. So yeah, he did a whole year, and he was just to keep track, and doctors were following him for just to make sure that everything was right. And yeah, there were no deficiencies and nothing wrong. He just became healthier and thinner, more than 100 pounds in a year.
Now, who was the first one who came up with an idea to write a book together that became Live Your Healthiest Life?
Well,
Shayda.
I think I've always wanted to write a book because everybody was telling me, and at the same time, everybody was telling Gustavo that he needs to write a book. My whole idea was I always see weight loss books about women, and I think that's great, but you hardly ever see weight loss stories about a guy. And then coming from two different cultures, Gustavo coming from Argentina, me coming from Iran, we never gave up our food. Like the foods that I love from Iran, I mean, there was some stuff I couldn't convert, but for the majority of it, I wanted to keep my food, as did Gustavo. So we put our heads together and we're like, I think there's a book there. I don't know how, but we need to do something. And I know we talked about it for a long time, and then Gustavo lit a fire under me, and it's like, come on, we got to get this done. And I'm like, okay, let's get it done. So we got it done. We approached you.
Right. Now, when Shayda says she wanted to keep her food, she means the basic dishes, but veganized.
Absolutely.
Plant-based.
So there's a lot of Persian recipes in the book because a lot of people wanted Persian recipes, but veganized, oil-free, salt-free, sugar-free. They wanted those recipes in there. And I just think you're getting an international cookbook. You know, I've got recipes that were handed to me from my mother, my grandmother. He's got recipes from his grandmother, his mother. And my mom and I did a lot of the testing and a lot of the cooking of converting recipes in the book. And I just think it's a very unique book. It is not your normal, ordinary cookbook that you get. It's not at all.
It's not
and I
at
think
all.
we have something phenomenal here.
I like to think so too.
Yeah.
Gustavo, do you remember your reaction when Shayda first proposed the book to you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had been thinking for years, but I was thinking of something else. I wanted to write my story because I think, and I might someday just write like an autobiography. I think I can help. It can help others that went through something like I did. But so it interested me to combine the cookbook with a storytelling kind of book. Where people would read and go back and forth from Shayda to me, from Shayda to me, basically since the time we were born until the present day. And in between, as people are reading the story, to have immerse their recipes that go with the story. So I think it's a very unique. So yeah, so I was excited. I was a little bit I don't consider myself a recipe maker, so it was a challenge, and I like challenges. So it was just, okay, well, what recipes that I make on a daily basis can I include in the book?
Yeah. Now, I was trying to remember when you guys came to me to help you with this idea for a book, you hadn't written anything yet, had you?
I think, well, I had written some stuff, and I believe he did too, but we didn't know how to put it together.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you and saying, if you think that there's something here, let's do it. And if you tell us this isn't going to work, you know, but you came out with a phenomenal way of like merging both of our stories and really getting in there and interviewing us even more in depth to get more stories out of us.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then I would give you homework assignments. I
Yes,
would
you
say,
would.
write about this, write about that, and then you would bring in your homework assignments.
Yes, you
And
would.
it turned into the the book. I have to ask you, Shayda, I don't think I ever asked you about this. I went to one Persian wedding in my life. I had a
Muslim
good,
or Jewish?
what's that?
Was it a Muslim wedding or Jewish wedding?
Muslim.
Okay.
Muslim. And they were good friends, particularly the bride. But I want to know if this was unusual or not. What I remember is everybody, I think it was, I don't remember what kind of room we were in, but everybody was talking, having a good time. And then I noticed, wow, it's getting late and there hasn't been any food yet. And then they brought in the food, and there was a lot of food. There were some dishes I could eat. I remember there was a goat, so I wasn't going to eat the goat. But then the surprising thing was that after it was already late, I don't know what time it was, maybe 9 p.m. or something. I was very
That's
hungry,
early.
or maybe 10 p.m. And there was all this food, but then nobody ate. And the food, and I didn't, I knew it would be rude if I became the first person to go to I wasn't going to do that, but nobody was eating. And then, I don't know, the food sat there for maybe an hour or two before finally the grandmother went to take the food, and then we could all have food. Is that unusual that you have a waiting period after the food is served?
Yeah, that is unusual because first of all, if they serve dinner at 9 o'clock at night, you got lucky because
Okay.
most Persian weddings, they don't even serve dinner till around 10:30, 11 o'clock at
Well,
night.
maybe it was 10:30 or 11. This was years ago.
It is because first they're going to have all the hors d'oeuvres, then the actual ceremony starts, then the whole ceremony is the process. By the time they go and take pictures, you go back to eating hors d'oeuvres, then the music starts, then it's all dancing, then they bring the food, then there's more dancing, and then they bring the dessert. By the time you're out of there probably around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But dinner, I asked you if it's Jewish or Muslim because it could be slightly different.
Right.
But typically that's basically a Persian wedding. Persian weddings go on all night long.
Yeah.
And if it's either at 5, that really means it's not going to start till 8. So they like people to get there early. Persian weddings just go on late at night, and the dinner is not till much later. But I'm surprised there was a goat there because I've never seen a goat at a wedding.
I think it was a goat. I think it was a goat with an apple in its mouth or something like that. It was
that I've gone to a lot of my friends' wedding, and that I've never seen.
Maybe my memory's a little foggy, but what I remember was finally the food came and then nobody ate it for like an hour. And I'm thinking, is somebody going to start eating here?
That's a little unusual because typically they'll set up the food and like probably about 20 minutes, they'll make an announcement. Hey, the food is here. Please go help yourself.
And what I realized was we had to wait for grandma first. And finally, when grandma ate, the rest of us could eat. And, if I could do it over, I just would have nudged grandma a little sooner because it took a while.
So what was the music?
Oh, that I don't remember by now.
Was it a live band or was it a DJ?
I can't remember.
Or was it a combination?
I just remember being hungry.
You just remember? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of being hungry, Shayda, what are you going to prepare for us today? Is it from page 88?
It is on page 88. And if you guys have your book, you can follow along.
Of course we have our book. And everybody watching, you should have your book too, so you could read along.
Exactly. And we're going to be making a mango black bean bowl.
All right, if you've ever wanted to show off your plant-based lifestyle and do it in style, here's your chance. We have some of the most amazing t-shirts, hats, accessories, coffee mugs, and more at shop.realmeneatplants.com. We have statement t-shirts that will bring a smile to everyone's face. I love the I want tofu tonight tee. Plus, we have podcast tees, real women eat plants gear, real kids eat plants, and real people eat plants, just in case men, women, and kids didn't cover it all. Yeah, we love you and love that you want to show off that healthy lifestyle of yours. Again, check out our high-quality gear at shop.realmeneatplants.com and enjoy.
Mango black bean bowl.
This is super, super easy. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of times, this is when it's mango season, this will be the combination that I absolutely love. There's nothing weird in here. There's nothing funky in here. You can make it as spicy as you want. You can make it not spicy. You know, we start out with quinoa as the base, and I've already cooked this in the Instant Pot. Now, if you don't want to use quinoa, you could use millet. You could use brown rice. It's your choice. Like I always tell them, you know, recipes are just a guide for you guys, because let's say there's people that don't like black beans, because black beans is going to go in here, right? If you don't like black beans, you could add chickpeas, you could add azuki beans, you could add kidney beans, but add something to it. Don't be afraid to experiment. Next, we're going to add corn to this. When you're getting corn, make sure that it is GMO free, organic, because corn is very heavily genetically modified. Now we're going to add bell peppers to this. I'm going to cut this into cubes. Now I'm using a red bell pepper. Why? Because a red bell pepper is at its ripest. This is when it's going to be nice and sweet. If you notice, the green bell peppers, those are always super, super cheap. And the red is the most expensive. Well, that's because the green is not sweet yet. It hasn't ripened yet. I learned about this when I was staying at OHI, Optimum Health Institute in San Diego years ago. And they had a field out there, and they were growing bell peppers. And I would go out there every morning. It started out as green, because I always thought you could grow it green, orange, yellow, red. I didn't know. And then all of a sudden I see it turning to yellow. Then I see it turning to orange. And then all of a sudden to red. I'm like, oh my God, this is how this happened.
It's the life cycle of a pepper.
Exactly. And so, you know, try to get the red bell pepper when you can, because like I said, it is at its sweetest point. But if you want to do yellow or orange, I just will never do green. I don't like the green. So that I won't do.
So basically the pepper goes through its green phase, its yellow phase, its orange phase, and its red phase. I would be in my orange phase right now, I think, if I were a pepper.
Yeah, and then you want to go to the red phase. So now we are going to be adding fresh mangoes to this. Now, some of you have asked me if you can use frozen mango in this recipe. You can use frozen mango as long as you make sure that you thaw it out and get the liquid out and you do all that. So yes, you can. Some of you have said that you don't like mango, which I don't understand, but okay.
No, that's hard to understand.
Right? So you don't want to use mango, use a peach, use a nectarine, use pineapple, use an apple, use grapes, use whatever fruit you like. And you can add as much as you want. So we're going to add the mango in here. And already, if you mix the salad, look how colorful it is.
That's beautiful.
Your food has to be inviting, because if it's not inviting and if it's not pleasing to your eye, listen, guys, none of us are going to eat it. Nobody's going to eat anything that doesn't look appetizing. Next, we're going to add cilantro to this. I'm a huge fan of cilantro. Thank God I don't have the gene that it tastes like soap.
I think I have that gene.
Do you? Well,
yeah,
it's
I'm not a
problem.
huge fan.
Then put.
So I would go for parsley.
then you can do that. There's nothing wrong with parsley. You can do fresh dill. You can use whatever herb you like.
Yeah,
Just
I
make
got the
sure
cilantro gene.
you do. That must be so hard.
Yeah. Gustavo, do you have the cilantro gene?
No, thank goodness, no, because I love cilantro.
All right.
It
Yeah.
has such a beautiful
I still respect you.
flavor. You what?
Yeah,
I still respect
you too, because
Gustavo.
I think that people who don't like cilantro like you are just weird.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Well,
No,
look,
just kidding.
there's other herbs that you can put in here, Glenn.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I'm big on parsley.
Then do you like flat or curly?
I like flat.
Why don't you like curly?
It could go back to the Three Stooges.
That curly, what was it? Curly and Moe and who
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
How about
Okay.
basil? Would basil work?
Basil would work as well. It's whatever herb you like. You could even do fresh mint, or you could even mix, like you could
Right.
add fresh mint, add fresh parsley, add some dill. Herbs, I've always told everybody, add herbs as much as you can to your salads. It just makes it so tasty.
Fresh mint is great.
Well, as a Middle Eastern person, we eat a lot of mint.
Yes.
And we have a lot of herb always on the table. So I'm right now zesting a lime. Because
Okay.
the dressing for this salad is really, really hard.
How
You know?
hard is it? What do you do?
It's so hard. You got to cut the lime in half and take the juice, and that's your dressing.
Oh, that's it. It's lime juice dressing.
Lime juice dressing. But
See, for me, lemon juice or lime juice as a salad dressing is perfect. I don't understand why people need these oily dressings. I just, it doesn't make it more delicious.
no, and I agree with you, Glenn. Now, do you put the zest in there?
Well, I'm not terribly ambitious, so I guess I don't. But it's
Okay,
it's healthy. It's a good idea.
what I want you to do the next time you do it, I
Yeah.
want you to add the zest and see if it enhances the salad at all.
Oh,
it
it
really
probably does. Okay, next time I'll put the zest in.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the zest in here. I'm also going to add jalapeno peppers to this. This is ground jalapeno pepper because I like a little kick in here. Now you can add fresh jalapeno in here and make it as spicy as you want, or not add it. The next thing I'm adding is cumin, because I love cumin. So we're going to add that in there. We're going to add a little black. This is called black cumin. I've started swaying from using black pepper. There's nothing wrong with black pepper. If you want to add black pepper to this, please do so. What I'm noticing is that the black seed cumin, it's got so many health benefits, and then it just has a beautiful taste to it. So I add a little bit of that. Oh, and if you notice, I keep my cilantro in this little cup with water in it, and this stays in the refrigerator for about a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And I keep changing the water, so the water just helps to keep it fresh.
So that's the salad dressing now that you're liberating.
Yep, now we're gonna add the juice.
By juicing the lime.
And you can put as much or as little lime as you like. Some people may want it more tart, some people might want less. I've even had this salad with no lime dressing because the juice of the mango, sometimes you don't need the dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't need the lime juice, I should say. But this is a quick meal that you can put together. And our book has a lot of quick meals, quick, easy recipes. There are some complicated ones in there, but I think the majority is easy. The pepper is getting me.
Now,
think
from
it's
a
good
health
idea.
perspective, this is a
Uh-huh.
wonderful meal because you're getting your cooked grain, which is technically a seed in the form of quinoa. You're getting a lot of raw foods, and you're getting a lot of what Dr. Will Bushevitz calls diversity of plants. So you're getting a lot of different plant foods, and you're getting a lot of spices, and spices are the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. So this is an extremely healthy meal.
So what time will you guys be over?
Well, you're in Southern California?
Yep.
That'll be a while.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to look at this salad. How inviting is that salad?
That's
Mm,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who's not going to eat this? And if you like wraps, you can take this and make a wrap out of it.
Yeah.
You can put this in a collard green, steamed a collard green, put this in the middle and make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah. Well, that is beautiful, Shayda. Oh,
Thank you.
Gustavo, have you ever made a salad that beautiful?
Actually, Friday night, 2 nights ago, I did. I have a salad that I can eat every day. I call it the K-licious salad.
That's not in the book, is it?
I don't remember if it's in
You
the
need
book.
to read the book.
Yeah. I
Oh,
read
we
it.
need to write another book.
We need to
Yeah.
write another one. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that salad is a crowd pleaser. So yeah, I like that.
All right. I'm not seeing Kale-licious salad in here.
Then I probably left it out for our next time.
Yeah.
Well, you also, we had a lot of recipes, Glen, that you said we had too many.
Yeah.
Well, that was to save some for the next book.
There you go.
But Gustavo does have a recipe called Gustavo's Edible Pot of Youth.
Wow.
So
you see, that's why I look like this, and I am 85 years old.
Well, you do look good for your age. And so what can you tease the reader about Gustavo's Edible Pot of Youth? What's in that?
Well, the pot itself can be eaten.
You can eat the pot?
You can eat the pot. So, and it has a lot of antioxidants, and the actual bowl, what goes inside, is full of antioxidants, which means anti-aging. So it's just a wonderful combination of ingredients.
And it's unusual because you can't usually eat the cookware.
I know, yeah, and it's not bread, because it's not like I was a few days ago in San Francisco, and they serve you the creamy soup in a sourdough bowl, but this is not bread, so it's much healthier. And
so how are you guys enjoying being big time authors, signing books and all that?
It was, I mean, I don't know. It was just, I was telling Gustavo, I'm like, this is kind of weird, right? He goes, I know. But
yeah,
it's also fun. It's also exciting. It's, I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, you work on something for 2 years, and sometimes it feels like you will never be born, because I think this book was like a baby. This is our baby, and but it was born, and now it's kind of surreal to see it, to hold it, and and to have people buy it and want signed. So yeah, it's a wonderful feeling of accomplishment.
Yes, well, it is an accomplishment. It is live your healthiest life, one bite at a time, one meal at a time. Now that subtitle, one bite at a time, one meal at a time, that's from Shayda. Shayda, you use that with your Healthy Cooking with Shayda website, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And I was always trying to remember, is it one bite at a time, one meal at a time, or is it one meal at a time, one bite at a time? I always got confused. But it's one bite at a time, one meal at a time, and it's Your International Whole Food Vegan Weight Loss Cookbook. There is no other book on the market that is described as Your International Whole Food Vegan Weight Loss Cookbook, with beautiful pictures of some of the meals and some more on the back cover. You can get it on Amazon. You can find Shayda at healthycookingwithshayda.com. Where else can people find you, Shayda?
Well, under the same name, they can find me on Facebook, on Instagram,
On YouTube.
yeah, YouTube, absolutely on YouTube. And what I'm really love about this book is the endorsements that we got, and we got some heavy hitters to endorse our book, which I personally could not be more grateful to every single one of the people that endorsed our book. So that was really, really nice.
We got endorsements from Dr. Neil Barnard, Chef Ramses Bravo,
Dr. McDougall,
Dr. McDougall, Dr. Gershfeld, Dr. Lewenda, Tammy Kramer. You were both recently on Tammy Kramer's Nutmeg Notebook podcast.
Chef AJ wrote the foreword.
Chef AJ wrote the foreword. Dr. Goldhammer. I interviewed him last week for my podcast. He's a wonderful fellow. Dr. Clapper, Dr. McDougall, John Pierre, Catherine Lawrence, Dr. Doug Lyle. A lot of heavy hitters there endorsing the book. And Gustavo, people can find you at plantamus.com, right? PLANTEMUS. That stands for plant and music.
Right.
Plantamus.
Yeah. That is my website, plantamus.com, and that's my YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
And I'd like to add something, that the book inside doesn't have pictures for different reasons. I mean, space and cost and stuff. But I want people to know that I, at least, and I think Shayda too, but I very soon will start uploading in my YouTube channel probably as most of the recipes in the book, so that people can see the final product. They're not going to get all the little details, because of course we want everybody to get the book, but at least just, since there are no photos for each recipe, but they will be able to see it in videos, and then in our websites, I think we will start uploading pictures of.
Very good. Oh, and also, isn't there a bonus for people who purchase the book?
Right, yes.
What can you tell us about that bonus?
Well, it's a PDF that is called Shayda's and Gustavo's secret Persian and Argentine recipes. And basically, we kept some really, really good ones for this bonus. Especially,
so how do people get the bonus?
Yeah, they get the bonus by sending an email with the proof of purchase, and the email is is live your, so LYHL.
LYHL.
Bonus.
LYHL bonus.
At yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com. So you send your proofs of purchase of Live Your Healthiest Life to LYHL bonus at yahoo.com, and you get the secret recipes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not allowed to tell anybody those secret recipes,
you're not
right?
allowed
Once
to
you
tell
get
anybody, because if you do, the file auto destructs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this also is for the Kindle, because I've had people ask me if they purchase a Kindle, will they still get the bonus recipes? And I said, absolutely.
You still get the bonus even if you get the Kindle.
Right.
All right. Well, Shayda and Gustavo, my co-authors, it's a pleasure seeing you again. I hope that everybody watches this video, subscribes, gets the book, tells their friends, and eats delicious meals like that salad that looks very, very good.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So see you soon, my friends.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for having us on your show.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. This has been the Glen Mercer Show, where everyone listening turns vegan, regains their health, and annoys their friends and relatives. Find us on YouTube at The Glen Mercer Show and across all your major podcast platforms. Don't forget to subscribe.